Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Buenos
Happy
días,
4th of
buenos
July.
días. Hello. I'm Maricel. Welcome to BoricuaTalks, like most.
Like
And,
most. I'm Elizabeth Colon, a show about nothing.
and a little bit about everything.
Yay. And
So,
today,
who do we have today?
I was about to
Here.
already show my cups, but go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
no, please don't. No. I want to introduce our guest on our show today, Tamika Lachey Morales, one of our book sisters, an author, an actress, a trailblazer, so much to her that we'll talk about in a second. But what a great way to start the week by having a spunky guest on our show.
I'm so spunky, I'm double fisting today.
You are.
Firecracker and someone that you should know. So let's get started and let's know who Tamika is.
All right, then. So, Tamika, you want to talk a little bit briefly about yourself because we have some questions coming your way.
Oh my God, I'm scared. Tengo miedo. Sure, I mean, you kind of already said it, but my name is Tamika Lachey Morales, and I do a lot of things. I teach, I write, I wrote a play called The New Eurekan, and I wrote a second play that's almost done called For the Love of Autism. I co-authored in the book with you beautiful ladies in today's Inspired Latina. So I co-authored in that series in volume 3, The Trinity. I also am the president of the Autism Hero Project, which is a C3 that is near and dear to my heart. And I'm just super excited to be here with you guys. I just want to say for all your viewers, I was originally going to be the very have a guest on BoricuaTalks, which I still remember was Columbus Day weekend 2019. And then I decided to surprise my grandmother for her birthday. So then I had to fly out to New York City. And so then the comedian became the first guest on BoricuaTalks. So
I'm just super excited was on the show.
We finally got to do this, mi gente.
I know. Isn't it crazy?
No,
I mean,
it's long overdue.
October 2019, that's almost a year ago. Okay,
that's why I'm saying, I remember pushing you guys into, yes, you guys can do this. And I'm just excited that you guys have kept up with it every week. I think me being on the show was long overdue. Yesterday, I was like, but I really wanted to do it in person. I don't want to do it on Zoom. So you're just going to have to invite me back when we can all be in the same room, man.
Absolutely. We'll definitely put you back. And yes. You know, it makes it a little bit easier, right, Marisa? Like having guests just show up on a Monday morning and tape with us.
Definitely, yes. Well, we have to get used to this thing, but let's get together and where we could do a group hug because you're Tamika. Just a little recap between our relationship, our love relationship. Mm-hmm. Because of Tamika, I am in volume 4, Fantastic 4. She came into Ponce one day and she was like all excited that she was coronating Lin-Manuel Miranda at the Miracle Center.
That's right.
She came and I'm like, oh no, don't worry. I love the kids. I donated the food for the Miracle Center for Lin-Manuel. He also liked at the el budín, not the budín.
Tembleque. And I wasn't even there.
It was his dad. His dad specially requested it, actually.
Oh.
So, Elizabeth, it was the most awesome thing. I was like, okay, I need a Puerto Rican restaurant because they have special requests. And I was like, and Mary was like, well, we have Ponce that's right next to us. So I literally made the connection with Maricel. And then you don't need to pay. It's for Lynn. Can you tell Lynn that I was in Brown Girls? And do you remember
that? What happened to No Strings Attached, Maricel?
No, and then she mentioned the book, and I was like, well, give me, and I bought all the girls out at Ponce.
Actually, you did. You're such a good supporter. That
was the first day we just met. I mean, we just like, I just fell in love with Tamika and your energy. And I am so blessed. You're like an angel that came into Ponce that day. And thank you, because I am today's Inspired Latina with these beautiful, amazing women.
So you know what, you say you fell in love with her energy. I was the complete opposite. Like, Tamika scared the hoot out of me when I first met her.
What?
You were high energy. And I was like, oh my God, who is this woman?
Where was that?
No, I don't remember where we met. Maybe it was one of the Book Sister launches. I have an idea. But you know, you're so high energy, and then you love the F word. That's like your best friend. And I was like, look at her. She curses all the time. Do I want to hang out with her? I love you, girl.
Book by its cover. Didn't you learn that? You don't judge a book by its cover.
I love you. I love you, girl.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
And only if you knew. And look at how close we are now.
Oh. Well, girl, you got me using cursing words, and I'm like, oh, it's all normal now. Let's just use it.
You know what? I will not tell a lie. It's a really bad trait, but people who I've become very good friends who don't generally swear, they start to swear around me, and I'm like, yeah, I love it. Especially, not that we should focus on the I am a teacher, but it just has such gusto. Like, you can use it when you're pissed, you can use it when you're mad, you can use it when you love something. It just makes everything sound better. Like, I really want to use it right now, but I'm not.
Yes, we're not.
Me too. But Maria, also one of her book sisters, put them together. Yes, I'll start cursing in that moment with them, having the conversation.
I'll lie to you. When we all got together, I mean, Maria Castro, who we're talking about, right? I did not expect that from her.
Me either.
No, I was like, no. Like, you expect that
You're
from
like,
me.
no.
Right? And then I was like, it was totally unexpected. Dad, that's why I freaking love you.
Yes.
Well, you know, that's two people that we have in common that are awesome people. So it's all good from here on in, because I felt the same way with Maria, and I was like, holy cow. I'm like, I will never cross that woman's path, because if you do anything to Maria Castro, she will come after you. You're done.
Cut you.
But you know, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of like the same way. Like, you cross me and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm coming after you. But I think that's part of my Scorpio nature, like, in all honesty, that venom, I'm gonna get you. So she'll come after you. So with that, let's find out a little bit more about Tamika.
Well, Tamika, I want to start with asking you, what is it that you do for self-care?
I laugh because I don't know what self-care is. What do I do for self-care? Well, wait, I shouldn't say that. You both know this. I love to work out. Like, I love working out. Yes. As a matter of fact, this pandemic that we're in hit me extra hard because, one, I'm a school teacher, and so we had to quickly kind of phase into e-learning. It was a cluster of things, you know, and so it's been like, it was very wearing on me, and I was working very long days. I was talking with parents at 10, 11 o'clock at night because a lot of my parents worked third shift. I was making videos. I was just trying to be background singing. My little legend is in the background singing because he hears me talking, so he wants to get louder. Hold on. Legend!
And that's Tamika for you.
Thank you, puppy. I appreciate you. Love you. Quiet. Okay, sorry. So I could not make the time to, you know, the gyms were closed and I didn't have the time to work out. And all of my friends started, you know, doing workouts on YouTube, and I was lucky if I could do maybe one a week. Mm-hmm. It was really kind of extra wearing on me. And so of my mom and I just got back on Monday. So Tuesday I hit the gym hard because the gym's opened. And so I have been at the gym 7 days straight. Even this super early and went to the gym so I could be back in time to do this. So I would say I'm someone who needs to work out. Like, if I don't work out, I don't feel good. I think that's what gives me all this energy that I have. And so I would say working out is probably the first and foremost thing, because I don't have time to do anything else besides, because I do too much and I do so much. So I would just say workout is probably the only thing I do for self-care.
You do a lot.
Good to me. Yeah, that sounds, good, because you're taking care of your health and your body, and you're running around all the time. So working out, great.
Yep.
I need to
And
start.
when I'm running,
Me too.
my mind, I get so many ideas while I'm running or I'm walking or whatever it is. And so I get a lot of great ideas while I'm working out too. So I love it.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
I tried to get, I don't know if she told a few times, and I was coming over one day and I said, hey, there's a workout we could do on YouTube. And she was like, hell no. Do you remember funny stuff?
In Florida, right? In Florida.
Yes.
She's like,
Listen,
what? No.
if you get money said to walk 2 blocks, that's a lot.
Well, there's something that I am doing different,
Okay.
and during the week, not the weekend, not Saturday and Sunday, but I have my 5:30 alarm. It says, wait, I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget exactly what I wrote. It says, becoming the change you seek, at my 5:30 alarm. So my 6:30 alarm, it says, change.
That if you hit snooze too many times? So
Yeah, because I could be up by 7, all stretched out, and I go for an hour walk.
You are going?
I'm now running.
So what is it? Wait, what does your 6:30 alarm say?
My 6:30 alarm says, change is due. Get up and be the change.
There you go. And now she's walking an hour. So that's a change. That's a start.
So proud of you.
And the whole thing is holding myself accountable for what I want. And also, with all the reading and stuff in quarantine, changing the trajectory.
Yes. Oh my Lord, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. I'm a good influence.
If you push her hard enough, she'll do it.
No, you know what? I have to tell you, for me, the game changer for everything that I started to accomplish was putting in accountability.
Yes.
You literally have gym tribe partners. That's my accountability for my workouts, right? I have goals. And so like when it's the Autism Hero Project stuff, I have accountability partners. When it's Today's Inspired Latina, I have accountability partners. When it's my websites or business, or I literally put accountability partners.
Yeah.
They don't have to be the same one, different things. So I put that in because that is the game changer for me. And Elizabeth, in your business or in personal, accountability is important,
Well, yeah. So I was going to say accountability. I think it should be top for everyone because we get very relaxed in our environment, and we don't go unless someone holds us accountable for it. And that's why when I have a mentor coach, and in the past, my mentors have been low accountability for me. And, if I didn't do something, they were like, oh, Elizabeth, why didn't you do it? I'm like, okay, make up an excuse, right? And they're like, okay, so get it back to me next month. But my mentor coach now is one where I said, I want high accountability. And if I don't get it done, I want you to curse at me. I want you to, whatever it is, right? And because of that, I get my stuff done. Like, I have oh my God, I have to have this in by a certain date, And even today, I was on vacation, but I held myself, I committed, and I held myself to having 2 things done for 2 different people. And it's not done, but where am I? In my office, even though I'm off, because I got to get it done because I have to be accountable for that, right? So yes, the accountability I think needs to apply to everyone. I don't care how young or how old you are. Some level of accountability is key for all of our success because forget it.
Definitely, most definitely. And that's accountability. It's like something new for me. And I tell everybody, I'm getting up, I'm running. And when you ask me, have you run, did you run yesterday? People are going to, I don't want to say, no, I didn't. I'm going to say, yes, I did. So the more you tell people, the more that when they come and ask you, yes, I ran, and that's what you have to do within, it's like, I'm going to run, I'm going to walk because, Tamika's going to ask me next week, are you still running? And I cannot lie and say, because I'll be lying to myself, you know, so.
Well, Maricel, recently I was telling Maricel about this 3, 4, 5-day challenge called Call to Action. And the guy that was leading it was talking about accountability, and he was calling a lot of us out on the, on the call, calling us a fraud because we weren't following through.
Wait, is this the guy you mentioned on your show 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Yes. So I so committed to telling Maricel I was going to call her, and I didn't call her. And then she texted me the next morning. She said, "You're a fraud." So I'm sharing this story again because I want to know if I can call Maricel a fraud for avoiding me all weekend when I called her.
That's the wrong F word you want to be associated with.
She avoided me all weekend when I called her. I was going to invite her over, and she wouldn't even answer my phone. I answered my call, rather. National TV.
Maricel, you realize what's going to happen now, Bella?
With all seriousness, you know, you're going to hold me accountable. I said, whatever I'm doing, and if I miss that call and it's 5 hours late, I'm still going to call you.
My phone hasn't rung yet. Sorry.
So, since I go to the gym every day now until I have to go back to school in a few weeks, I'm going to be calling you or texting you in the mornings going, did you go to the gym? You're in trouble.
Accountability, yes.
You're in trouble.
No, and it's awesome. I mean, I started getting up early because of, hello, Elizabeth. We're going to do the show at 8 o'clock. And I'm like, what? That's when we were getting together. So I started, but now waking up and stretching that whole hour, because what I do it for an hour is because I don't want to just get up and, you know, not be ready. You know, I shower, you know, and I'm going to walk. Why shower? But, you know, I need a shower. I come back, I take another shower.
There you go.
So it feels so good. And the rest of the day is being accountable for the other stuff that I need to do and get to finish throughout the day. And the day is longer. I'm like, oh my God, it's only 11 and I've done so much. So it's amazing getting up early. It's like they say, the early bird gets the worm.
There you go. There you go. So Tamika, I'm sorry, not Tamika. Maricel, what's the next question? Because I have something I would love to talk to Tamika about. You know, our show's already 30 minutes and we get carried away all the time.
Okay.
What's the next one?
I saw her sleigh in the background. Okay. I love it.
My question is, do you do like a set schedule for the whole week, or you just go by what comes up during the day or the next day? So you do like a planning on Sunday or Monday for the week?
All right. This is just a miracle because of something else that I was down here. So I won't lie to you. You're going to see my, when I plan, so I am one of those people who, I know that we're in the electronic digital age and everybody puts everything in their phone, but I also have to write it down. And so like, I do my things in sections. So the Autism Hero Project goals, right? These are long-term goals, and then I prioritize. Here you'll see like, which I'm working on a special surprise, but it's on there. Working on a docu-series that I'm working on in incognito, but
we're just bringing it
out there to the world.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Home. So this is like la casa, ¿verdad? And then my personal goals, y después mi familia. So I kind of do it in sections. And so what I do is I plan what I think I need to accomplish for the year somewhat. Like, you know, we started here, remember? With our big vision boards.
Yes.
Upstairs, I should have, if I knew we were going to talk about this, I would have been ready for it, but you guys don't want to tell me what we're talking about. So I kind of plan what I envision for the year, and then I kind of break it up. And then I do like weekly, daily. And so a lot of people ask me, how do I get all this done? This is how I get it done. If I can't check it off or cross it off, then I'm like, I can't sleep at night. And so I get anxiety oh my God, I haven't crossed anything off my list. And so that's how I do it.
So you
That's
have
great.
basically the whole year, then you have once a week where you're going to accomplish that week. And the follow-up question would be, are you hold yourself accountable or do you have a partner? Oh yeah, you did say that. You have accountability for each and different
I
so
do,
the family
but the truth is I'm probably my biggest accountability partner to myself.
Okay, good, yeah.
To like write this and check it off and but I will tell you, I remember reading this once and it was so true. There was like a blogger who said, get rid of the things to-do list. It's ruining your life. And like, click, how is a to-do list ruining
right.
When I read it, I was like, I understand what she meant. And so this is the truth. And you guys have been around me, and Marisol, you were with me in Florida, so you've really been around me. I'm so driven that I have no balance.
Yes.
It takes away it takes a lot of like sometimes not being present in the moment, which is a problem. And so I've been trying to be much better at not multitasking, doing so many things at once, just being present and being in the moment. So, I mean, all these accomplishments don't come without,
sacrifice.
Without, like not sacrifice, but there's like, something has to give.
A price, a price.
Yeah, como un precio, right? So everything has a price, right? So there's a give and take, and so when there's, like when people ask, oh, do you think you could have it all? Do you remember that, Elizabeth, when we had?
Yes.
And everybody, all of them said yes, y yo era la única que era como, no. Pero things come at a cost, that they come at a price. So yes, you can have it all, but don't, let's be real. Something's gonna give, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your family, whether it's, your business, whatever. So
what would you tell somebody who, let's say somebody out there who has a list like you do, like the one you just shared with us, that this is everything I'm going to hold myself accountable for, and they don't get through it, or they don't get through some of them, right? What's your advice to them? Is it okay? Do you become harder on yourself? Does it tie into you pay a price for something because you're trying to accomplish so much?
Well, it's kind of like, okay, so if this pandemic has not shown this to everybody already, I always had a saying where sometimes we have to slow down in order to speed up. And so sometimes I just have to realize that, I'm going, but like, I'm not getting my hair done, right? Or my nails are not being painted, or I'm just starting to look aged because I'm losing sleep. And so sometimes you just got I read a lot of books, apparently. I read a book, right? Like 10-10-10. I remember Jack Welch's wife had written it. And it said, when you're trying to prioritize and you want to get that guilt away, you think about, okay, how is this decision to do or not do? Because to not do something is also a decision, ¿verdad? So do or not do. How is this decision going to affect me in 10 minutes, in 10 months, and in 10 years, right? And so it doesn't really have to be that, but this is just an example, right? So what's the worst thing that can happen? If I don't do this now, am I going to lose an opportunity? Is it going to cost me money? Is it going to hurt someone's feelings? Is it going to like delay and have like a ripple effect, right? So those are things that you have to consider. And if it doesn't, you know what? Life is short. We need to freaking not be so hard on ourselves. The rest of the world sometimes son demasiado de criticones that people are already hating on different things,
Right.
Sometimes you could be like, you know what?
It's like just saying, do what works for you.
Push it off. Right.
Just do what works for you. I just want to say, Tamika, you are amazing. I love to be in your presence, and I thank you for being in our show. And
we're not done yet.
No? I know. I was like, you're wrapping it up.
No, but I'm just saying that's how I just felt. And you gave me goosebumps,
Okay.
Love you. And this is the beginning of our show. This is not going to be the last. So you're going to come on many, many, many more shows.
Yes.
Even when we're on daytime show.
I've watched every single one of your episodes. You know this already, guys.
Yes. And we appreciate you for that.
Yeah, and I won't lie, I love whenever I hear my name pop up, even you guys, or the Autism Hero Project, even when you guys screw it up and all that. But I love your guys' show. I love laughing with you guys. When you guys were in person, it's like you guys have this natural connection and this energy that I feel like I'm just right in the room and we're all just chilling in our book club, or we're all, sometimes you'll say something and I'm talking to the screen going, yes, that's right? And you guys can't hear me, but that's how I feel.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. The goal is never to be perfect on our show. Like right now, I thought Maricel was closing the show. On us. I mean, wait a minute, we're not done yet.
I have more amazing things to say.
I do too, but I actually want to shift to something really.
So you can keep talking for the next part of the 28 minutes we got left. I'm just saying.
28 minutes, right? But I want to shift to something a little bit more serious. And it really like tugged at my heart. And so Tamika, there's this really fun, bombacious, outgoing side of you, but there's also this really serious side of you about the heart you have for the injustices that we see out there. And as a nonprofit of the Autism Hero Project, a few weeks ago, you posted something that really tugged at my heart, that broke my heart into a million pieces. And this is where I wanted you to talk about it on the show and maybe give us an update on that. But in summary, and please add to this when I'm done, is that there was this young man who has autism, right? Who was in a single car accident, who because of his autism wasn't able to communicate like you and I would normally do under these circumstances, ended up in jail and has been in jail for a very long time. And I believe it's 50 years that he's serving. And you and from the distance, because this is not even a local situation, are trying to advocate to get this young man out of jail. And please add to this, but also tell us what we can do as you continue to fight this injustice for this young individual that I cannot even imagine what he's going through in prison.
And his mother, his parents. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Horrible.
So I might get emotional because that's, this is like, so I want to say his name. His name is Matthew Russian, and he is a Black autistic young man. And just to give your viewers some insight, he was driving to work. He worked at Panera. And this is a kid who graduated from high school, who was going to university, who had a girlfriend, who was really, I would say, thriving on the spectrum. And he comes from two amazing parents. Both of his parents are in the military and both work for a government office. And he takes piano and viola, or if I'm saying that instrument wrong, forgive me. But this is someone who just really is doing great on the spectrum, but it didn't come up without, there was other things that happened. So first he had an accident in 2017 because he drives, which is amazing. And, but the accident was so bad that he flew out of his car and he was unconscious, right? And so they found him. The police officer who took him to the hospital checked up on him, and you're gonna realize why I'm saying this, and he was in a coma for 4 days. Fast forward 2 years later, he had been back to driving for about, let's say, 6 to 8 months. He was working, he was going to school, he had a girlfriend, and it was in the evening, it was January, it was raining, the weather, they live in Virginia, so it's not even a local case, like you said, Elizabeth. They were living in Virginia, it was raining, it was January, winter. And you know how Panera, at the end of the night at Panera, they have like the leftover breads and desserts they will donate and stuff like that. He was deciding to go back to work to get some desserts. So it was in the evening, and when he drove, it was in January, he pulled into the Panera Plaza and he clipped a car. And immediately his anxiety, he panicked. And as you can imagine, he probably had PTSD immediately, that he panicked and he drove. He didn't stop. He drove about this overtake, and he realized, okay, he calmed himself down a little bit. He decided to do a U-turn because he said, I need to go back to the scene. In turning around to do a U-turn, he hit another car.
Wow.
And this is where it got crazy. It was an older gentleman. He was driving in his car. The other gentleman got hurt, from what I understand. He was, for the most part, fine. He was shooken up, you know, and autism, a lot of people don't realize there's a communication. It's one of the parts of the spectrum. You know, it's a disorder, communication disorder. So when the cops arrived, you're never going to believe this. It was the same cop who had found him 2 years earlier.
Oh, wow.
Who, when I spoke to the mom, I was floored because she said 2 years earlier, he seemed, you know, concerned about him and stuff like that. But now they said he was slurring his words. He had communication issue. He was anxiety. The witnesses all gave their testimony that you could tell something was off, right? The 17 cops showed up to the scene. They were all questioning him. They didn't let him call his parents. So as you can imagine, and so for their police's failure to understand what autism looks like, what it feels like, what it tastes like, he wound up getting convicted. And they actually said, you know what? We think you must have been trying to commit suicide.
Mm.
And so there's so much more to the story, but I'm just going to kind of summarize it and say that they gave him a 50-year sentence. No one was murdered. This is a college student, working autistic student, who literally got 50 years, 40 years suspended, or however they say it, 10 years he has to serve for sure. And I just can't fathom that we have people, and we have cops, and we have all these other people who kill people, right, and they come out of jail in 6 years, or they don't even get that kind of 50-year sentence, and they gave him no bail.
Mm.
And so since that day, his mom, fast forward now, it's been a little over a year and a half, has not seen him since. He went home to get dessert. He went to work to get desserts, and he never came back home.
Mm.
An injustice. EMTs were not trained to be able to deal with, you know, how to communicate with someone with autism. Like, there's so many facets to it, just so wrong. And there's such a, you know, we already know that the system is broken. I mean, with everything that's going on with Black Lives Matter and all the, I mean, we don't even need that to know that the system is broken.
Right.
But so much more awareness needs to be brought. And so the mother right now has a GoFundMe page for law, you know, trying to basically do an appeal. And so we, thanks to one of my Lula advocates, I formed another group with a bunch of beautiful Latina mothers called Lula, Latinas United in Love for Autism. And one of our autism advocates and that found out about the story. Then she messaged me, and then we started to talk, and then we created, she created this like private like message group where we just started to invite everybody. I talked to the mom, she talked to the mom. The more I would find out, the more devastated I was. It was heartbreaking. And as you saw, we dedicated a day to change all of our profiles. We brought so much awareness. They had a petition that had started that at the time we got it had about 40,000 signatures, and they needed 75,000. And now it's over 100,000.
Nice.
And we've been writing almost on the daily. I've been emailing the governor's office. We've been calling the governor. I've been tagging the governor, as you know. So we're not going to let this rest. I mean, we want him to literally reopen up this case and really just kind of let his time already served be kind of forgiven, and really we need training. Our government officials need training. Our, protect, like the police and the EMT, and just, there's so many people that need training. Never, I could never imagine that somebody would get a 50-year sentence without bail for hitting someone who literally at the end of the day, no one was killed, and just, it's an accident. God forbid, accidents happen.
Correct.
Have consequences sometimes, but this is not the consequence that you would ever expect anybody to have. And so we're, I'll make sure that you have, so you can please link it.
Yes, most definitely. Because yes, or send us a letter. I'm always waiting for my letters. We respond to letters.
Yes. But this is, it's heartbreaking. I'm sure everybody's gonna watch it's gonna feel the same way, but definitely send us the link, because this is an ongoing situation that hasn't stopped yet until he's out of jail, right? The work continues, and I can only imagine, I don't have a child of autism, but I do have a 16-year-old that if he ever ended up in jail for some injustice, I would be completely devastated, right? And pleading for everyone to just try to help me get my son out of jail. So thank you for sharing that, Tamika. I think we all need to do it. It just takes one phone call, right? One email, or just, $5 to a GoFundMe page.
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing. This is a atypical kid, right? Neurodivergent brain, neurodiverse, who he needed therapies. He actually has a something on it in his pituitary gland that he was going to have removed that gives him massive headaches. He suffers from major headaches. The jail that he's in has no air conditioning. Because of the pandemic, they get no visitors. But even before that, I can tell you just from my own child who has eating issues, I just can't even imagine the hell that this kid is going through. When I was talking to the mother, she mentioned that there was a fight that was breaking out in the jail, and somebody who knows that he's autistic moved him from the situation because, bullied, he can get beat up. Like, there's just such an emotional thing that I just can't even imagine. I just can't.
Yeah. One thing that comes to mind, and, when you're talking about when the car accident happened, they wouldn't let him call his parents. Diabetics always have these bracelets, right? The bracelets and the necklace gives me like a thought of like, should someone be creating those for someone who's autistic? Because if our law enforcement don't know and they don't understand this community, right, and how to handle them, maybe a bracelet that says in the back, please call my mom, and put a number back there or something to try to help someone in these situations like this. Even as a child, I think we need some kind of maybe some identification for them.
I think there's something like that, but it's funny because, parents already are paying for so much when you have a kid autistic.
Sure.
For every therapy under the sun. People are getting second jobs. I can't even begin to tell you. Just Maximilian alone, Legend has done therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy, developmental therapy. There's just like, we have so much brain power and so much funds that at the end of the day, that might be something that I sponsor next through the Autism Hero Project. I don't know if you know, in this pandemic, when a lot of our kids were being cut off because the e-learning didn't fit their style of learning, or their therapies had to discontinue, the Autism Hero Project decided to pivot. And not only for your viewers who don't know, the vision of the Autism Hero Project is to prepare kids with autism for the world and to prepare the world for them. And we do that in many different ways. First and foremost, what makes us the most famous is that we purchase medical insurance for children on the spectrum so that they can access ABA therapy, the #1 recommended therapy for children with autism, to help them kind of thrive and strive and learn the life skills and the social skills that they need to be able to be as independent as possible. But we create autism awareness, and I kind of take it a step further. To me, it's completely not enough, truthfully, to be aware about, not want to make you an agent of change. If you don't want to be part of the solution, that's what I want. I want to create a community of heroes who are intentional about being an agent of inclusion, who are intentional about creating spaces And so when this pandemic hit, and I knew that kids were getting cut off of therapy and cutting off of e-learning, we pivoted and we said, okay, we're going to continue to pay the medical insurance premiums for the kids that, you know, being that bridge. But on top of that, we got to do more. What can we do to do more? And so we partnered up with Genesis, an online virtual therapy, speech therapy that does all kinds of things. And we subsidize that. That's like $98 a month for people. For the Autism Hero Project, they pay $0.
Nice, wonderful.
I had so many parents reaching out saying that they were in crisis and their kids were in crisis. And, you know, I'm very emotional about that. And so we created a sensory box that we literally paid and funded and got a couple of sponsors for, thanks to Farmers Insurance, Melissa Terrazas in Burborn, her Farmers Insurance agent, ComEd gave us a grant, and then we had to fund a lot more because when we put it out there, a solicitation, I thought maybe 50 families would apply. In 24 hours, we had 302 families.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
302 families who were in crisis who said, oh my God, you know, our kids really need this because they feel like their kids have been forgotten. This is already a vulnerable group. And Elizabeth, because of metaphrasis, everybody just wants to be seen. Everyone wants to be heard, right? Everyone wants to have a voice. And these are already the invisible, right? They already feel invisible. And so that cost tripled our budget, truthfully. And so I was like, we got to do it. And they were like, you know, the board was like, so are we going to pick the family? And I go, no, we're going to make it happen. All of them. We even had a family in Fiji who filled out for the form. And so anyway, so we did that. And, you know, I just want to mention this. We have a big garage sale.
Yes, and that's how we're going to wrap up this segment. Tell us about this garage sale this weekend.
Okay, so this is... This I still kind of consider like a service because, so during this pandemic, what did everybody do? They thought they had nothing but time on their hands. So I didn't have that, but everybody else did. They started cleaning out. Even you did, right, Elizabeth? You guys were
not yet.
And spring cleaning, right? And so all the Goodwills were closed, right? And so I said, you know what? Jeanette Miranda was like, I'm going to do a fundraiser for you guys since we were cut off from, as a not-for-profit, we depend on a community of heroes. We are literally like a grassroots not-for-profit. And with that to say that in 3 years, we've been able to fund $100,000 of medical insurance for children on the spectrum so they can access therapies they need. Okay. So
what's been on the show?
There's a squirrel. No, there's a squirrel. And he's like, there's a squirrel. I see the squirrel.
Oh.
Are you still accepting like donations for your garage sale this weekend? Because I see if you have more donations, maybe you could do this like every weekend.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about that. So Jeanette Miranda, you know, I'm very close to Jeanette Miranda. She's one of my sheroes. And she was like, hey, I want to do a garage sale to benefit the Autism Hero Project since I know our regular sources of donations have been cut off for the year, right? And who knows if we're even going to be able to do a gala at this point. And so that obviously was very heavy on my heart because I live to serve the community. And so I was like, hold on, a garage sale? Jeanette, you know that is not my talent. It's not my cup of tea. Like, don't, girl. And she is like Miss Project Manager. She is like the queen of sales, okay? So she was like, girl, this isn't going to be like one of your Autism Hero Project things that you partner up with people and they make you do all the work. She was like, I'm doing all the work and you're just going to do little tidbits here and there. So all that to say that when we announced this and all the Goodwills happened to be closed and this pandemic was, you know, crazy, we started picking up, okay? It was almost like we were doing a service for these people, right? Because they couldn't unload anywhere else. That we have over 3,000 items.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And that's because we didn't even accept clothes. I have to say, right? And then here's the crazy thing. We filled up her big shed to the max. We filled up her garage. And then this weekend we filled up her porch that she was like, girl, no puedo más. That's it. I can't.
Wow, that's wonderful. So give us the details because we're at the closing of our show.
Okay,
so
but wait,
tell us where it's at.
I am, but I have to. She disinfected everything. She was hoping, she was washing clothes. I'm not made for this.
That's awesome.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah. So she disinfected the items. She created all these sanitation stations. There's a treasure for everyone and all that stuff because we got so much stuff. And so I just have to tell you that amazing in this journey. And tomorrow we start prepping because it's this weekend. So the garage sale, we have a VIP for anyone who donated, right, to the AHP. They get to come between 5 and 7 p.m. We're going to have refreshments. You know, I'm not no ordinary organization. So we're going to have some goodies. Don't worry, it's all COVID approved, individually packed. But 5 to 7 p.m. on Thursday, July 9th. And then Friday and Saturday, and maybe even into Sunday, July 9th is the VIP, July 10th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., July 11th, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Elgin, 619 Lily Street, in Elgin, 619 Lily Street, in Elgin. Our website, www.autismheroproject.org, or they can email me at autismheroproject@gmail.com. We are not accepting anything else at the moment, but we do have a goal. Jeanette Miranda's goal is, she said straight up, you know what? She manifested this. She said, I want to do at least over 3,000 items because the goal is to be able to sponsor one child. We go to the marketplace to buy their medical insurance, and it can cost anywhere from $100 to $4,800 for one medical policy. And so she was like, we're going to raise enough money, Tamika, at this garage sale to sponsor for next year at least one child through this one activity that we've done this year. And so from her mouth to God's ears, because we're going to do it. We've got, I think we get these.
I know. I love it.
We'll be there. Yeah. We'll be there to support you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tamika. You are amazing, and you are blessed with many, many, many more things coming your way, and money as well to help the Autism Project and all your projects that your heart is felt when you speak of it. So thank you so, so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you guys for having me. I want to do one in person though. Can we please?
We will. Well, wait, we got it. As soon as everything is said and done, we will be in my office. I mean, at this point, I can have 3 people in my office. We can do social distancing.
Yes.
So, until next week, everyone, thank you for being patient with us on the show this week. Yes. Hope we all had a wonderful 4th of July. Stay warm. It's sizzling hot, and go out there and have some fun. Bye.
Thank you, heroes. Thank you, Sheroes.